And he comes rolling in. Hello, Bonnie. I did show up on time.
Yes, we agree.
First of all, I want to recognize a few people for this happy occasion. President Art.
Go, Arthur.
President-elect Kim.
Yay!
Past District Governor Hoagie Hansen.
King for the day.
Marty Gras.
King for the day, too. Yes, Bonnie. Hoagie won King for the day. And guess who he picked as queen? You're right. It was Ann. And past Assistant Governor Ann Hansen. And then we have now representing the Swathmore Club is Hoagie and Ann, who participated in this project.
Just ask Ann.
Pardon me. Representing the Swathmore Club was just Ann. That's right. You're an art mark.
That's right.
Thank you. And representing Glen Riddle was Sue Yoakum.
Hello.
Hi, Bonnie.
Now, two of our most important people are the children of President Art, and that's Emily and Lorraine Sybrandy. Now that that's done, I have two 50-50 tickets for everyone who's a Paul Harris Fellow. Raise your hand if you're a Paul Harris Fellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Seven.
7. Okay, here's 2 for you. Here, okay, would you give them that for me, please? I have two 50-50 tickets for those who are Gundaker Fellows. Gundaker Fellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four Gundaker Fellows. Would you hand them out, please, Nancy? Raise your hand again. This is how we do it in Rotaract. By the way, President Art's daughters are attending Temple University, and they're both members of the Rotaract Club.
Yay!
Well, that's all out of the way. My name is RickTrivane. I'm the president, or past president of the Rotary Club of Ballackinwood-Narberth. I'm also the assistant governor of Area 3, which are the 6 Rotary clubs in Philadelphia. And the reason I have a uniform is because when I was a kid growing up, I was a Cub Scout and I had a uniform. I was a Boy Scout and I had a uniform. And after high school, I joined the Navy. I had a uniform. And when I became assistant governor, I said, you know, this is a perfect occasion to have a uniform. So I made a uniform. And as you can see, I wore my Paul Harris Fellow. And for those of you that are listening out there, it's for Rotarians who contribute $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And that's the reason I'm here today, is because of the Rotary Foundation. And many of you have contributed $1,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation. In fact, there's one member of this Rotary Club who promises to give $1,000 per year. It's not me. He's a member of the Rotary of the Paul Harris Society. Later on, I'll tell you who it is. Now, the Rotary Foundation, all the money that we Rotarians donate to the Rotary Foundation, the magic of that donation is 3 years later. 3 years later. Why 3 years later? Because they take the donation, invest it for 3 years, and run the Rotary Foundation on the investment, on the interest. And then 3 years later they say, here, back to your district. Half of what your district gave. Half comes back to us. And that's why I'm here, because we have a designated fund that said, who wants to apply for a grant? And it seems as though the Rotary Club of Chester, along with Swathmore Rotary and Glen Riddle Rotary, applied for a grant. It was a matching, it was a $2,000 grant. In fact, this is a check.
Nice.
So I'd like the representative of this club, Art, come on up here. Sue, come on up. Ann, much is that? $2,000.
That's nice.
Okay, surround me, please.
There you go.
Okay, so we are here.
Ready?
Ready. Take another for good measure.
Yes, hold on.
Make sure Sue is perfect.
It's a little dark, hold on, let me zoom out.
Okay.
Turn off the flash if you want
Okay.
Say when, Francie.
When?
Oh, good.
to. Okay, then.
Spaghetti.
Okay.
Okay.
When.
So $2,000. The real check will arrive shortly.
Yes,
I was assured of that.
We'll take this to the bank and see what happens.
So, now, that being said, why don't the three of you stand here in place of me, face the camera, and just tell us what you did, what you're going to do with this money.
Well, as it says on the check, it's one book every child that we're gonna spend the money on. It's our signature project for the club. Literacy is important. We have decided to change things a little bit. In terms of literacy, we used to do dictionaries. We're now looking at putting a small library in the third grade classrooms with books for different reading levels, so kids can take books home and also give away some books so they have their own books.
And we're going to read.
And we're going to read. Like
How
we
does
do
that
every
work?
year. We go to the classroom. Usually we have one big book to read from, and then the kids get to take home a smaller version of the same book. It's gratifying because a lot of these kids, it's the first and only book that they own and that is actually theirs. And you can see when you show up in some of these schools that these kids don't have a whole lot of resources to buy books. You go there in the summer and they show up in rubber boots because that's the only footwear they have. So it's an excellent program, I think. If you can get kids to read, they can study and be lifelong students and make something of themselves.
And third grade's a good level. Like the enthusiasm and the joy in the kids' faces when you give them a book's amazing.
It is.
It's
Actually, one book program is for Head Start. This is the Head
Oh,
Start
okay.
program for the preschools that we do,
Yeah.
and that's
I'd love
really
to see
excellent.
old folks do the Tootie Talk, though.
Yeah, we do that.
That these kids have never had their own book, which is totally amazing to me that no one gave them a book from Santa Claus or anybody. But it's the library system through Pennsylvania has done studies where if you put a book in a small child's hand, they will become a reader and enjoy reading. So that's why it's so important. And with the money we raised, we were able to buy 1,600 books. So 1,600 children in Delaware County are going to get their first book. Amazing for us. Amazing for us.
Thank you.